y'all, and welcome back. Today's video is, guess what? Not a tutorial. Today we are actually going to be testing a new foundation that I think we're all pretty hyped about in the beauty community, and that is the new Colourpop No Filter Foundation. When I do foundation reviews or, just kind of first impressions in general, I really do try my best not to look at other reviews prior to filming mine because I really want to give you like a true first impression. I don't want to kind of be influenced by other things that I've heard, seen. So the only information that I have about this right now is what I have seen on their website. And speaking of their website, let's go ahead and go to the Colourpop website so I can tell you a little bit more about this foundation before we actually test it out on my face. The first thing, obviously, I think that we need to talk about is that this foundation comes in 42 shades. 42. That is a heck of a lot of shades for a more inexpensive foundation. A lot of high-end foundations don't even come in that many shades. I am so glad that cosmetic companies are finally realizing that humans do not just come in 10 shades, and that they're really starting to embrace, inclusiveness, however you want to say it, with their products. The other kind of fun thing about this is, like I said, there's 42 shades. I am not the lightest shade. I am actually the 6th lightest shade, which is just absolutely amazing. I don't think I've ever been the 6th lightest shade in anything that I have ever tried before. I'm usually the lightest, or it doesn't come light enough for me. What that tells me is that this is a really amazing range, because if there are plenty of people out there who are much fairer skinned than I am, and if I have a hard time finding foundation, what about those other people who are way fairer than me? Also, they seem to have a really good set of deep toned shades, and there's no big jump from like tan to deep or anything like that. It's a true like beautiful gradient from fair to deep. So I do have to give Colourpop a lot of credit for all of the shades that they release all at once. But maybe you're thinking the way I thought when I saw 42 shades is, how the heck am I supposed to find the one that's right for me? Well, Colourpop has 2 ways here to find your shade on their website. There's 2 links, and you can see kind of right here, there's match by brand and find your shade. If you click match by brand, you're able to select from a couple of different options for brands. Unfortunately, I don't think this is a very, it's not that I don't think it is, it's not a very comprehensive list of brands. So they have the MAC Studio Fix Fluid, Fenty Beauty Pro Filter, Estee Lauder Double Wear, and Maybelline Fit Me. So you can choose any of those brands. So my favorite is the Estee Lauder Double Wear, so I chose that one. And then it gives you a list of shades that you can choose from, and it should have all the shades that are actually available in this brand. So I am the lightest shade, which is 1C0, so I selected that one. And once you select the shade, it automatically populates your closest match in the No Filter foundation. So it says that my match was Fair 30, neutral foundation with pink undertones for fair skin tones. So that is the shade that I bought. If you select the option Find My Shade, it's a little bit more broad, I guess. It's not quite as exact as the other one is, although that's not quite that exact either. So here you select Find Your Shade, and you basically have to click along this bar at the top closest to where your shade would be, or your shade would fall on this scale. And then you have to select what your undertone is here. I fall at the very end of the spectrum, like ultra fair, and I have a cool undertone. But this says it's fair 10. I don't know about that. That was pretty Snow White in the picture. So anyway, like I said, I did go with fair 30. It was apparently the closest match to my Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation. And when you ordered this foundation, you also got a free foundation brush with it. I have not tried it yet, but it is supposed to go with this foundation. So we're going to try a sponge and a brush today with this. I hadn't opened this box prior to sitting here to film, so I didn't know that this actually came in a glass bottle. This is real glass. Like, I can tap my ring against it, you can tell. So that's nice, and it does come with a pump, but it's one of those caps that kind of lock in place kind of pump. It doesn't have a lid to it, which, I mean, I really wish it did have a lid. I have already moisturized and prepped and primed my skin, so we don't have to do any of that. All we need to do is get into this foundation. So I guess if I'm going to use the brush, I'm going to have to put some of this on the back of my hand, and we're going to just dot it on my skin. Okay, this came out, I don't know if, I don't, do I have to shake this? It did come out like kind of liquidy and runny. If you guys can if you can see that in the camera, it's running down my hand right now, but that's fine. We're just going to go ahead and go with it. I'm going to dab this all over my face. We'll do one side with a brush and one side with a sponge. Alright, let's go in with this side with the brush that this came with. So initially this shade actually looks kind of light. It doesn't look like awkward light, it's just, I don't know, a little lighter probably than my own skin tone, which is okay, we can warm it up. But can you imagine if I had actually purchased the one, it said Fair 10? Are you kidding me? The brush side is done, and normally I don't really like brushes. I'm just going to be honest, I don't really like them. But I don't really mind how this came out, honestly, and I thought this brush was really going to be kind of terrible. I just don't. I don't like brushes like this. But it does look a little light kind of compared to the other half of my face. But if you compare it to my neck and my chest, which is like my true color here, I have a lot of red in my face. It's really not that bad. It's a pretty good match. So far with the color match, I am impressed. Alright, next side of my face, we're going to use a sponge, and I'm going to use the one that I personally love the most, which is my Eco Tool sponge. So I'm just going to squirt a little bit on the end of the sponge, and I'm just going to dab this on my face. I'm going back to the Colourpop website because I wasn't exactly sure, or I didn't really remember, how this coverage was supposed to be. The description on here says it was developed for the selfie age. Our full coverage natural matte foundation delivers flawless looking skin from day to night. The oil-free lightweight formula blends smoothly and is easily customizable to create the coverage you want. Build it up or shear it out. It was developed with true, innovative, soft blurring pigments to deliver true color while looking and feeling natural. Okay, so it did say that this was more of like a customizable kind of coverage with I did about 1.5 pumps on each side of my face, and I think, honestly, it's more like maybe high light coverage. It's not quite medium for me. This is kind of a little less coverage, I guess, than I would normally wear like on a work day. So we might have to try to build this up some more. But there are some application tips. For maximum coverage, use a large foundation brush, medium foundation brush, or a flat kabuki brush. For medium coverage, use a duo fiber brush, small duo fiber brush, or a blending sponge. Build it up and apply another layer for more coverage. Like I said, I don't even think that this got to medium coverage, honestly, but I will go ahead and blend out just a little bit more in some of the areas where I felt like I needed it, like right here or under my eyes, and just kind of like this middle portion of my face. Let's go back in with the brush and see how it builds up. It does actually build up quite nicely. I am impressed. I don't know that I like the brush because I don't think you can tell on the camera, but the first layer with the brush was beautiful. Just absolutely perfect. The second layer with the brush is leaving these little streak marks now that I really don't appreciate, but the coverage is good, so we can always go back in and blend it out with a sponge. So speaking of a sponge, let's go ahead and try a little bit on this side as well. Alright, here we go. And this is how it looks after one full layer and a little bit of, going in with the second layer in just very targeted spots. Looks good. The color looks good. It is slightly tacky to the touch. It does say it's a soft matte foundation, so I feel like it should be more matte than this, but it's not bad. I'm really I'm very impressed with the color match. I mean, it's pretty good. At this point, this is called a no filter foundation, and I definitely don't feel like this is doing any filtering on my face. It's just, to me right now, before I haven't done anything else to it, it just kind of looks like a regular foundation. But I am going to go ahead, put on a little bit of makeup, just a little, and kind of do like my normal work routine makeup, stuff that I use every single day. I know how it performs, and the only thing that's going to be different is this. So let me go ahead, put that all on, and I will be right back with you. Alright, we are back, and I have some light makeup on, and honestly right now I have to say that I'm fairly impressed with this foundation. If you guys have seen any of my previous foundation reviews, you'll know that that is not something that I say very often, because I have a very tricky kind of skin type. I have very fair skin, very oily skin, so a lot of times I can't find a foundation combination that deals with both. I can either go really fair, or I can do oil control and it be the wrong shade, so it's a little difficult. I'm also surprised that this really didn't oxidize at all, which is rare for me because it's really easy to tell on my skin when it oxidizes, because there will be like a line of demarcation on my neck, but there's none. And I guess I'm very impressed with this so far. I've only had it on maybe, I don't know, 30 minutes, but it set really nicely with powder. I didn't have any issues with anything on top of it. I did have a little bit of creasing on my lids. Again, that's something that you can't really just, fix anyway. That was kind of the only drawback, honestly, that I've found with this foundation. As I've noted before in previous videos, it's really difficult for me to be able to film a true full day wear test with a foundation, because I have full days of work Monday through Friday, and that would be the best time, honestly, for me to try this, because that's when I would be wearing my foundation the most. But my filming setup is actually in our bedroom, so getting up at 4 a.m. to film a get ready with me in foundation review probably won't really fly with the husband. Despite that though, I will try to wear this the rest of the week, and I'll try to keep you guys updated. I'll either have a comment in the comments, or I'll have a little blurb in the description box below so you guys can see how I feel about it with a longer wear test. If you guys do like these videos, don't forget, like always, to give them a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below or up here in the corner before you leave if you do like this content. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this. I am just pleasantly surprised that I actually like this, but this is kind of redeeming. It feels good to have found something that is actually really cool. So anyway, I will catch you guys in my next video. Have an awesome weekend, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.